Did you know that some of the longest living people on the planet keep their bodies active while sitting? That sounds strange to almost everyone who grew up believing exercise has to be exhausting. But in Okinawa, reaching 90 with independence never depended on impact or extreme effort. It depended on something much quieter and more consistent. A type of movement the West has almost never taken seriously. For decades, we were taught that physical health meant sweat, visible strength, and intensity. If it doesn't hurt, it doesn't work. If it doesn't raise your heart rate, it doesn't count. The problem is that this model excludes the very people who most need to move after 60. In Okinawa, the logic has always been the opposite: preserve the body before it fails. And that begins with small, controlled movements repeated every day. For a long time in Japan, movement was not separated from life. There was no time to train and time to rest. The body moved to stay organized, not to be exhausted. That completely changes the intention behind every gesture. The goal was never maximum strength. It was continuous control. This principle appears in ancient practices like Tai Chi, but also in everyday habits. Slow, circular, low-impact movements done with full attention. Nothing starts abruptly. Nothing ends abruptly. This rhythm protects the joints, keeps circulation active, and preserves the nervous system. It is a constant dialogue between body and mind, not an imposition. What's most surprising is that this type of movement was not created for young people or athletes. It emerged specifically to accompany the aging body, to allow movement to continue even when standing up already requires caution. And when this principle is adapted to modern life, something new is born. That is how we arrive at what we now call Table Tai Chi. When people hear Table Tai Chi, they almost always imagine a weak form of exercise. Something improvised, done only because the body can no longer handle more. But that idea is completely wrong. Table Tai Chi was not born from limitation. It was born from precision. It exists to restore something most people lose without realizing it: internal movement control. And this is where you begin to practice. Don't forget to tell us your name and where you're watching from. We love knowing who's with us. Sit on a firm chair with both feet fully supported on the floor. They should be parallel, about hip width apart. Let your spine grow upward without stiffness, as if someone were gently lifting the top of your head. Relax your shoulders, keep the chest natural, and allow the body to find a comfortable balance. Before moving, pause for a moment and feel the weight of your body supported. Now begin the movement with the arms. Slowly slide your hands forward, as if gently pushing the air in front of you. Do not use force. The motion is light, continuous, and smooth. As the arms move forward, let the torso follow just slightly, without leaning too much. Everything stays organized. Then bring the hands back at the same speed. Feel the chest reorganize and the spine remain upright. Breathing happens naturally. Air comes in as the arms move forward and goes out as they return. If tension appears, simply slow the movement down even more. Here, slow is a sign of control, not weakness. This simple movement already activates circulation, coordination, and attention at the same time. Sitting, the body understands there is no risk of falling. The brain relaxes defensive mechanisms created by fear, pain, or insecurity. Each repetition sends a clear message: it is safe to move again. And that message changes everything. For a long time, science ignored slow movements because they seemed too simple. But recent studies have begun to show something unexpected. Smooth, continuous movements activate brain areas related to control, not just strength. They improve communication between joints, muscles, and the nervous system. And this is exactly the type of function that declines most with age. When movement is done without rushing, the body has time to sense what is happening. Circulation improves, delivering more oxygen to stiff joints. Nerve signals become clearer, reducing reaction delays. That is why many people over 50 feel less stiffness and more stability. Not because they became stronger, but because they became better organized internally. The most intriguing detail is that these effects do not appear only in the body. They affect attention, mental clarity, and a sense of presence. Moving slowly requires focus, and that focus wakes up the brain. That's why many people report a feeling of calm right after practice. Sometimes within just the first few minutes. In the first session, almost no one feels tired. What appears instead is something else, a clear sense of being present in the body. The hands feel warmer, the shoulders release, and breathing deepens naturally. There is no visible effort, but something has clearly shifted inside. For many, it's the first time in years they've moved without tension or fear. This effect appears quickly. Not like a miracle, but like a reminder of what the body still knows how to do. That initial response builds trust, and trust changes everything. When the body trusts, it agrees to continue. And that's how movement begins to turn into a habit. With consistent practice, the changes stop being subtle and become practical. Daily movements require less caution and less planning. Standing up from a chair, reaching for an object, or rotating the torso feels more natural. Not because the body became younger, but because it became more reliable. Independence begins to rebuild through small gestures. This is the point rarely mentioned when talking about longevity. Living longer is not just about healthy organs, but preserved functions. When the body loses trust in movement, life shrinks. When control returns, the space for action expands again. And this happens without pain, impact, or exhaustion. In the end, Table Tai Chi is not about learning new movements. It's about recovering a capacity the body never completely lost. Moving with control, without hurry, without fear. Something simple that was gradually abandoned over time. And something that can be reclaimed at any age. Perhaps the most important question is not how much you move, but how you move when no one is watching. Whether there is unnecessary tension, haste, or insecurity in each gesture. Because that's when the body begins to overprotect itself. And that silent protection carries a high cost over the years. What if the path to moving better wasn't about doing more effort, but doing things differently? That's the reflection that remains. Because when movement changes, the relationship with the body changes too. And that may be the first step toward a much larger transformation. From here on, the choice is yours. If this video made sense to you, don't forget to share it with friends, like it, and subscribe to the channel.